In this video, we're going to look at variable data types as used in C++. In the previous video, we looked at how to write the Hello World program and the overall structure of a C++ program. Variables are a very essential part of programming in that variables are simply storage locations. So when you talk about a variable is simply a storage location in memory for data of a specific type. So you got this memory location which stores data, but this data, of course, is for specific types of data. To understand what data types are, because that is what a data type is, it simply just describes just what type of value a variable can store. So it describes the type of value which a variable can store. That is what a variable data type is. So to explain data types in a very, very simplified manner, let's look at this. Let us say I got two of these boxes. Let's say I'm moving, okay? I am moving to another apartment, to another house. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to partition my objects in different ways. So let us say maybe this box, I'm using it to pack my electronics. This is for my electronics. And let us say I also have that other box, and in that other box, I'm going to pack in my clothes. Okay, so you see this box, the one with the green dot, is for my clothes, and the one with the yellow dot is for my electronics. So that is how variables work. See, certain variables can only store numbers, others can only store strings, and others can only store characters. So let us look at the type of variable data types that are there in C++. So you got these variable data types right there. So those are the variable data types that we have. So you got your int data type, and your int data type is used for storing numbers, whole numbers to be specific. And then double is used for storing decimal numbers. Let me illustrate this properly for you so that you can understand in a very simplified manner. See, we talked about the int. So the int stores whole numbers. So int, this one stores whole numbers. Then you got the float. So the float stores decimal numbers. Then you got the double. So the double stores decimal numbers as well. The only difference between the double and the float is that the double is going to have more numbers after the decimal point as compared to the float. So the float is simply smaller than the double. Then you got the string, and you also got the character, okay, the character. So the string stores multiple characters, and the character, of course, stores single entries. What I mean by single entries is this. So a character is going to store stuff like A or B or question mark or T, just one thing. But when you get something like SAM, this becomes a string now. So multiple characters form a string. Then you got yourself the Boolean, which stores true or false values. So these are the data types that you have in C++. So if you're going to write a program now that is going to like ask the user to enter their name, they just write that program. So when you look at somebody's name happens to be a string. So I'm going to come up with a variable called name. Then let me just ask the user and say, what is your name? Okay, what is your name? Okay, what is your name? Then I'm going to see in the user's name. Okay, so cout is for output in statements, and then cin, you use that to capture user input. So you use cin to capture user input. So if I'm gonna output the user's name, so I'm gonna say hello there, then I'm gonna call this variable name. I'm gonna call this variable name right there. I'm gonna call it just right there. And I'm gonna try to execute and run my program. I'll try to execute and run my program. Okay. So what we're going to see there is the output feedback that is going to be rendered. So you're going to see the output feedback being rendered there. You can see that. So there, so it says, what is your name? I'm going to enter my name. So there it says, hello there, Stefano. So you can see there, there's no space there between there and Stefano. So what I got to do there is I just have to go here where there's there. Then I'm just going to hit space there, and that is going to give me that output. Another thing is this name right there, this name, it's gotta it's gotta be like that. You don't have to put it in quotes. So whenever you're calling a variable, because you're interested in what was captured here, so if you put this name in quotes like this, what you're going to have is not the user's name being displayed, but instead you're going to see the actual word name being displayed instead. So check this out. So you see, hello there, name. So this is why we do not exactly have the variable encircled by quotes, by string literals. So you just want to call the variable as it is. So this is how it is supposed to be instead. So variable data types. So when you're dealing with the user's name, of course, there you're gonna use the string data type. Okay, you're gonna use the string data type. Suppose there you want to also ask the user how old they are. So see out, how old are you? So when you look at the users, when you look at the data type age, when you look at the data type age, the age is an int. Because if you ask somebody how old are you, they're gonna say I'm 28, I'm 35, I'm 17, I'm 16. So obviously that is a whole number. So let's just declare a variable called age, a variable called age just right there. And then that is what we're gonna use. Okay, so how old are you? Then I'm gonna see in the user's age there. Then here, let me render the feedback, and I'm going to say, you said you are, then I'm going to call the variable age there. Then here, I'm going to say years old. Okay. Basically, I'm going to render some feedback there. So let's run this program together so that we see exactly what it's going to print out. Let's run this program together. So what is your name? So it's going to say Stefano. How old are you? And I put in my age there, 27. So you said you are 27 years old, as you can see the output being rendered right there. So that is what variable data types are. So if you were dealing with something that required you to to capture a decimal, let's say maybe you were capturing maybe the user's height, because obviously if you're going to measure the user's height, it's going to be either in feet or in meters. So you're going to say maybe 1.87 meters. So if you are going to like deal with height, obviously it's going to be either a float or a double. You can use either one of those. Okay, so let's say maybe you want to use the the float. So let's say we ask the user, how tall are you? How tall are you? Okay, how tall are you? So here we're going to see in the user's height. Then we're going to render the feedback and say, you said you are, or let's say you are. Then let's output the user's height there. Then we're going to say meters tall. I'm assuming we're capturing this in meters. Okay, we're capturing this in meters. Okay, and let's run that program. Let's run the program. Okay, so the program is running now. Okay, so what is your height? What is your height? So what is your name rather? Stefano. What is your age? How old are you? Hello there, Stefano. How old are you? 27. You said you're 27 years old. And how tall are you? I'm going to put in my height. And it's going to say you are 1.18 meters tall. Okay, so that is all about C++ data types. Remember, whenever you want to capture something from the user, because we've been capturing data from the user, you got to understand what you are capturing from the user. So this is all about C++ data types. I'm going to see you in the next video when we look at arithmetic operators. Cheers for now.